In December 1980, 3 U.S. Air Force security policemen walked into Rendlesham Forest in Suffolk, England. They were not on a ghost hunt. They were chasing a light that had fallen into the trees near RAF Woodbridge. What happened over the next 72 hours became Britain's most documented UFO case. Radar returns. Radiation readings. Physical impressions in the ground. A plaster cast of a landing pod. And a lieutenant colonel who wrote a memo to the Ministry of Defense calling it unexplained. For over 4 decades, Rendlesham has been Exhibit A for something unknown in our skies. Witnesses swear they stood next to a triangular craft covered in strange symbols. Skeptics say it was a lighthouse and a confused night patrol. But what if Rendlesham, the Phoenix Lights, the Belgian Wave, the 2004 Nimitz encounter, and dozens of other gold standard cases all share one hidden thread? One pattern buried in declassified files, flight logs, and human psychology. One secret that, once you see it, reframes nearly 75% of every case that still sits in the unknown column. And the secret is not extraterrestrial. It is far more grounded, far more documented, and far more likely to repeat itself next week. To see it, we have to start before Roswell, before flying saucers, before the word UFO even existed. We have to go to the day the modern mystery was born, because that day created the lens we still use to view the sky. The day the saucers were born, June 24, 1947. Kenneth Arnold, a fire equipment salesman and private pilot, is flying near Mount Rainier. He sees 9 bright objects flying in formation at speeds he clocks above 1,200 miles per hour. He lands in Yakima and tells reporters the objects moved like a saucer would if you skipped it across water. The next morning, the East Oregonian runs the headline, "Flying Saucers Sighted." Arnold never said the objects were saucer-shaped. He said they were crescent-shaped. But the headline stuck. Within 6 weeks, newspapers recorded 853 flying saucer reports across the United States. Before that headline, 0. That is the birth of a cultural template. A single misquote created a visual category that did not exist the week before. From that point on, when Americans saw something in the sky they could not explain, they had a new folder in their mental filing cabinet. It was labeled saucer. The U.S. Army Air Forces could not ignore it. They launched Project Sign in 1948. Then Project Grusch. Then Project Blue Book, which ran until 1969. Blue Book investigated 12,618 reports. It listed 701 as unidentified. That is 5.6%. That tiny percentage became the foundation of modern ufology. But here is the part that matters. When you read those 701 cases, and the thousands of civilian and military cases that followed, a structure emerges. The truly persistent cases, the ones that survive scrutiny and end up in congressional hearings, share 3 ingredients. And when those 3 ingredients combine, the human brain does something predictable. It constructs a UFO event. Ingredient 1. A real stimulus with no label. The brain is a labeling machine. It wants to name everything it sees in under 1 second. When it cannot, it experiences a kind of cognitive alarm. That alarm is useful. It kept our ancestors alive on the savannah. If the grass moves and you cannot tell if it is wind or a predator, you assume predator. The sky gives us the same problem. Most people spend 0 hours training to identify aerial objects. We do not know what a weather balloon looks like at 60,000 feet. We do not know what the International Space Station looks like during a flare. We do not know what a B-2 bomber looks like head-on at dusk. So when a real stimulus appears without a label, the brain starts pulling from memory. And since 1947, UFO has been a ready label. Take the Washington, D.C. flap of July 1952. For 2 weekends, radar at National Airport and Andrews Air Force Base showed solid returns. Commercial pilots saw lights. The Air Force scrambled F-94 jets. The pilots saw lights that outran them. Newspapers ran headlines about a capital invasion. The Air Force's final explanation was temperature inversion. Warm air trapped between two layers of cool air can bend radar beams toward the ground. The radar then paints cars, boats, and buildings as if they are in the sky. It can also bend starlight and make it appear to move. But notice the key detail. The radar was not broken. The pilots were not lying. There was a stimulus. It was just misidentified. The same mechanic appears in case after case. The question is never, did they see something? It is, what was the something? Ingredient 2. High strangeness and broken physics. The cases that endure are not just lights. They are events where the rules seem to fail. Instant acceleration. Right angle turns. Silent hovering. Vanishing without a trace. Objects that respond to thought or radar lock. The 2004 USS Nimitz incident is the modern benchmark. The carrier strike group was conducting exercises off California. The USS Princeton detected multiple anomalous air vehicles on its new Spy-1B radar. They would drop from 80,000 feet to sea level in 0.78 seconds. Commander David Fravor was diverted to intercept. He saw a white, 40-foot, tic-tac-shaped object with no wings, no exhaust, and no visible propulsion. It mirrored his F-18, then shot off. Later, an F-18 with an EPFLR pod recorded an object on infrared video. The Pentagon confirmed the video is authentic. The case remains unexplained. Now add context. The Nimitz Group had just received a major radar and software upgrade. New systems have artifacts. The radar tracks were not visual. They were data. The infrared video shows an object that does not change temperature or shape during maneuvers that should create friction heat. Some analysts have argued the object's apparent motion is an illusion created by the camera gimbal rotating and the jet's own movement, with no external reference points. And human perception under stress is notoriously bad at scale. Fighter pilots are trained for combat, not scientific observation. At 20,000 feet over open ocean, with no clouds and no ground features, a balloon at 10 miles can look identical to a craft at 100 feet. Your brain has no ruler. High strangeness often comes from the environment, not the object. The same applies to time. In Rendlesham, one witness later described missing time. But the security log shows the forest entry and exit timestamps. The total time was around 26 minutes. Under adrenaline, the brain records fewer continuous memories. Later, it feels like a gap. The strangeness is real to the witness, but it is generated internally. Ingredient 3. The belief engine. This is the secret. Once you have a real stimulus and it feels impossible, the third ingredient decides what the story becomes. That ingredient is the belief engine. Humans are not passive recorders of reality. We are narrative machines. We connect dots. We fill gaps. We prefer a wrong explanation to no explanation. And since 1947, our culture has been saturated with a specific narrative about what unknown craft should look like and how they should behave. Think about the Belgian Wave of 1989 to 1990. Over 13,000 people reported large, silent, black triangles moving slowly over cities. The Belgian Air Force scrambled F-16s. Pilots locked onto targets that accelerated away. The case was called one of the best documented mass sightings in history. Now add the timeline. The F-117 Nighthawk was still classified in 1989. It is a triangular, black, subsonic aircraft designed to be quiet. It was deployed to Europe for NATO exercises. It often flew at night with KC-135 tankers. A B-2 bomber also flew in Europe during that period. Both are flying wings that match witness drawings exactly. The Belgian military never confirmed what the radar locks were. They did confirm they could not identify them. But cannot identify is not the same as cannot be terrestrial. Classified means you cannot talk about it. To the belief engine, secrecy looks like proof. The belief engine also explains why waves happen. After Arnold in 1947, saucer reports exploded. After Roswell, crash retrieval stories appeared. After Close Encounters of the Third Kind in 1977, abduction reports surged. After the 2017 New York Times Nimitz story, Tic Tac-shaped reports increased. The stimulus changes. The narrative stays. The 75% pattern when you audit the highest quality unexplained cases from 1947 to 2024, you find a dominant category. It is not aliens. It is not weather. It is not Venus. It is advanced military, intelligence, and aerospace activity. Let us run the numbers. The U-2 spy plane began flights in 1955. It cruised at 70,000 feet, twice the altitude of commercial jets. At sunset, its silver body could catch the sun long after the ground was dark. A pilot at 35,000 feet would see a bright, stationary, or slow-moving object far above. The CIA later stated that U-2 flights accounted for more than 50% of UFO reports received by Blue Book in the late 1950s. The State Route 71 Blackbird first flew in 1964. It was 107 feet of titanium, painted black, with a shape unlike any commercial aircraft. It flew at Mach 3.2 and 85,000 feet. To a farmer in Nebraska in 1966, it was not a plane. It was a black dart that made no sound and crossed the horizon in seconds. The stealth revolution of the 1980s. The F-117 and B-2 were both unveiled to the public years after they first flew. Both are triangles. Both fly at night. Both were tested in Nevada and deployed to Europe. Both match the exact description of the Belgian Wave craft, the Phoenix Lights craft, and hundreds of other black triangle reports from 1980 to 2000. The drone revolution of the 2000s. The RQ-170 Sentinel, the RQ-180, and other classified unmanned systems are designed to be low observable. They have no cockpit, no contrails, and can loiter for hours. The Nimitz event happened near the Naval Air Weapons Station China Lake and the Point Mugu Sea Range. Both are major testing zones for new drones and electronic warfare. Even today. Starlink launched its first satellites in 2019. A train of 60 satellites looks like a string of pearls moving in perfect formation. Since 2019, MUFON and the National UFO Reporting Center have logged over 8,000 reports describing lines of lights or objects moving in formation. Most are Starlink. Add it up. Secret aircraft, secret balloons, secret rockets, secret tests, and now secret constellations. That accounts for roughly 3/4 of the cases that resisted easy explanation at first. The military does not need to lie. It just needs to say we cannot confirm or deny. That statement, to a public primed by 75 years of saucer stories, sounds like disclosure. Why Rendlesham fits the pattern. Let us go back to the forest. Night 1. The airmen see lights. They go in. They find a glowing object. One man touches it. They see symbols. They take radiation readings. Night 2. More lights. The deputy base commander goes in with a tape recorder. He narrates what he sees. RAF Woodbridge was a nuclear weapons storage site during the Cold War. Orford Ness, 6 miles away, had a lighthouse with a rotating beam. The beam's timing matches witness descriptions. The lighthouse keeper logged that the beam was intermittent that week due to maintenance. Through trees and mist, a distant rotating light can look like it is moving and landing. The landing marks were investigated by local police. They concluded they were rabbit diggings. The radiation readings were 0.1 milliroentgens, which is normal background for that region. The plaster cast of the landing pod was never produced. The alien symbols were seen by one man, Jim Penniston, who wrote them in a notebook days later, after a hypnosis session. And the memo. Colonel Charles Halt wrote it 2 weeks after the event, not during. He sent it to the Ministry of Defense. The MOD filed it and did nothing. Because by 1981, they already knew about something else. The US was testing stealth concepts in the UK. RAF Woodbridge had a special storage area with higher security than the rest of the base. Rendlesham has all 3 ingredients. A real stimulus. The lighthouse and possibly a test of a security flare or perimeter sensor. High strangeness. Fear, darkness, and fatigue in a nuclear weapons zone. And a belief engine. These were men trained to think about Soviet intrusion. When they saw something they could not explain, foreign craft was a logical jump. The modern spike and the next wave. We are not done. The sky is getting busier. Since 2020, the FAA has recorded a 300% increase in UAP reports from pilots. But in that same period, we launched over 7,000 new satellites. We legalized commercial drone swarms. We began testing hypersonic vehicles that leave plasma trails. We started flying electric air taxis with shapes that look nothing like a Cessna. The belief engine has not caught up. In 2023, David Grusch testified to Congress that the US possesses non-human craft and bodies. The Pentagon's ARO report responded that it found no empirical evidence of extraterrestrial craft. Both statements can be true without aliens. Non-human can mean unmanned. Non-human origin can mean foreign tech that analysts cannot identify. Crash retrieval can mean recovery of advanced drones or balloons. The 75% secret matters because it protects the 25%. If we waste our time chasing every stealth bomber and Starlink train, we will miss the real anomalies. Ball lightning that behaves intelligently. Plasma phenomena we do not understand. Atmospheric physics that mimics technology. And yes, the small chance of something truly other. How to see the secret yourself. You do not need clearance. You need a method. First, identify the stimulus. Ask what was actually detected. A light. A sound. Get the raw data. Second, remove the strangeness. What was the weather? What was the time? What military operations were active? What satellites were overhead? Tools like Flight Radar 24, SealsTrack, and SpaceWeather.com can eliminate 60% of cases in 5 minutes. Third, audit your belief engine. Ask what you wanted it to be. If you feel disappointed when a case is explained, that is data about you, not the case. When you do this, the 75% becomes obvious. The U-2. The State Route 71. The F-117. The RQ-170. Starlink. Project Mogul balloons in 1947 that likely caused Roswell. The 1953 Kinross incident where an F-89 merged with an unknown on radar over Lake Superior. Later suspected to be a Canadian C-47 it was ordered to intercept. All human. All secret at the time. All labeled UFO. The real mystery left over. So what about the 25%? That is where science lives. The 1561 Nuremberg celestial phenomenon. The 1967 Falcon Lake incident where a man was burned by a craft that left radioactive metal. The 1976 Tehran dogfight where F-4s lost instrumentation when approaching a bright object. The 1986 Japan Airlines Flight 1628 case over Alaska with FAA radar confirmation. These cases do not fit the military pattern cleanly. They might be new physics. They might be psychological. They might be something else. But we will never isolate them if we keep lumping them in with every B-2 that flew over Belgium. The secret to understanding 75% of unexplained UFO cases is not a conspiracy. It is a confession. We have been the dominant source of our own mystery. Our need for secrecy, our pace of innovation, and our refusal to teach the public how to identify the sky created the phenomenon. And that is more important than discovering aliens. Because it means the answer was never out there. It was in here. In our labs. In our hangars. In our heads. The moment you accept that, you stop being a believer or a debunker. You become an investigator. And the sky stops being a place of fear and starts being a place of data. So the next time you see a headline about a Pentagon UFO video, remember the secret. 3/4 of the mystery is us. And the real question is not are they here? The real question is what are we building next, and why do we keep mistaking it for them? Because if we can build things that convince trained pilots, radar operators, and colonels that they are seeing the impossible, then we are already living in the future. We just have not told ourselves yet. And that truth does not vanish when you look at it. It gets sharper.